Anyone? Okay. So sige, move forward. So at the end of this discussion, you can identify the differences between verification, validation, quality assurance, at saka quality control. Also, audit and inspection, testing and debugging. So you can also identify the testing myths, familiarize with different testing ISO standard. Itong ISO standard is hindi ko na i-discuss kasi meron tayong bagong sinusunod dito, 2501, which is not covered sa lecture na ito. Pagdating nyo ng capstone 1 and 2, madidiscuss yun. Ano? And you can also familiarize the different testing types, different testing methods, identify the level of testing, and familiarize with testing documentation. Okay. Pag sinabi natin testing, anong unang-unang pumapasok ba sa isip natin? So, pag sinabing testing, eh di test, as in trial testing, di ba? So, kailangan malaman natin kung kailan ba tayo dapat mag-umpisa mag-test, kung kailangan dapat itigil. Kung kailan siya dapat itigil yung testing. And bakit ba natin talaga kailangan i-test? Lalo-lalo na pagdating sa ating mga ginagawang program. Ano? So, the first question is, why do we need to test?
Snipe ni Beatrix.
Yun yung first question, why do we need to test? At sabi ng iba, para daw maayos daw yung error, yung mga problema, yung mga bugs. And kailan ba natin masasabi na dapat na tayo mag-start ng testing? At kailan ba siya dapat ihinto? Okay. When we say testing, it is a process of evaluating a system or its component with the intent to find that whether it satisfies the specified requirement or not. So, yun na nga, sabi na nga kanina, no? So, kailangan natin mag-test ng ating ginagawa para lang malaman natin kung na-meet ba yung hinihingi na nakabase doon sa ating tinatawag na SRS. Kung ano yung nasa documentation natin, we're going to check that and then kapag na-meet yung requirements na nandun, doon pa lang natin masasabi na pwede na tayong tumigil mag-test. Ano? This activity results with an actual, expected, and differences between their result. In simple words, testing is executing a simple in order to identify any gaps. So sabi ko nga kanina, ang testing is para mahanap yung mga error, yung mga problema, and to fix those errors and gaps or missing requirements. Okay, according to ANSI, IEEE 1051 standard, testing can be defined as a process of analyzing a software item to detect differences between existing and required condition and can be comparable to an existing and the new version of the product. Okay, what does testing? So sinasabi dito, what does testing? It depends on the process of associated stakeholder of the project. In the IT industry, large companies have a team with responsibilities to evaluate the developed software in the context of given requirements. Moreover, developers also conduct testing, which is called unit testing. In most cases, the following professionals are involved in the testing of a system within their respective capacities. So meron tayong tinatawag na software tester, software developer, um, project lead or project manager, and then end user. So itong tinatawag natin software developer at saka itong project leader can be comparable to the junior engineer at saka senior engineer. And then yung end user natin ay di yung mga gagamit na ng ng ating system. But in the IT industry, those roles can be categorized in or as a tester. So pwede silang sabihin as tester because they can identify easily yung pwedeng maging problema. So minsan, bakit natin kailangan kumuha ng hindi technical na tao like end user? Because most of the problem that may we encounter might be encountered with non-IT professional or non-technical person. Are you agree with me? Ang mga problema ng system ay karaniwan nakikita ng hindi technical na tao. Are you agree with me?
Yes po.
Okay. So, whether you are agree or not, yun talaga yung literal. That's why kung mapapansin niyo yung mga Facebook and then Google, they are gathering data from us. Siyempre, they didn't know if we are technical or non-technical person. By collecting those data, maaayos natin yung isang existing system or may improve natin. Okay. So, kailan ba daw kailangan mag-test? An early start to testing reduce the cost, time to reward and error-free software, and this is delivered to the client. However, in software development lifecycle or SDLC, testing can be started from the requirements gathering. So sa requirements gathering pa lang daw, alam na. So kagaya nga nung sinabi ko nung unang-una, no, in your requirements gathering, you can easily identify dapat what are those model. Kasi mag-model na kayo dito sa part na to. And during your development of model, you can now identify or test on your mind kung tama ba yon because you are doing the trial and error, and that is testing. Okay. And the last part till the deployment of the software. However, it also depends on the development model that is being used. For example, in waterfall model, formal testing is conducted in the testing phase. But in incremental model, testing is performed at the very end of every increment or iteration. So yon, nagkakaroon ng changes. So in every changes, nagkakaroon ng, or pagbabago, nagkakaroon ng testing. And at the end of the whole application is tested. Testing is done. Papasok na kayo sa loob. Sige po. Pero hindi kaya ito no doon. Sige. Wait lang guys ah. Marlene!
Ano pala sniper yun? Doon sa ano, Cory? Uy, likot. Likot. Patay nga lang si Rohan.
Okay. Ayan. Okay ba yung boses ko or malagong? Lumipat ako ng room. Guys, kamusta
Okay
yung
naman
boses?
po.
Malagong ba o hindi?
Okay lang po, sir.
Okay. Okay. Saan na tayo? So, sinasabi mag-start tayo ng test depende sa software development life cycle.
Gusto boy si Uhid?
Sir, putol-putol po ako.
Gathering phase. The analysis and verification requirements are also considered testing. So yon, yung requirements gathering or verification can be considered also as testing. Reviewing the design in the design phase with intent to improve the design is also considered as testing. So yung mga pinapasa nyo sa aking SRS, and habang nire-review ko siya is can be considered as testing. So kung mapapansin nyo yung SRS na mga pinapasa nyo sa akin, is, di ba sabi ko noon, it is not final. Naalala nyo? Di ba nung sinabi ko, hindi pa siya final. You can also edit or remodify those SRS because you are in the testing stage. Okay, testing performed by a developer on completion of the code is also categorized as unit type of testing. So, kailan ba daw kailangan tumigil? Ito yung mga basehan na kung kailan ka dapat tumigil. Testing deadlines. So, syempre, kung tapos na yung deadline mo, di kailangan mo nung tumigil. Completion of test case execution kapag tapos na. Completion of functional and code coverage to certain point. Bug rates fall or bug rate falls below a certain level and no high priority bugs are identified or even management decision. So, syempre, wala na tayong magagawa doon kapag nag-decide ng management. So, ano bang pinag-iba ng verification sa validation? Anyone? Pag sinabi natin verification, ano yung sounds magkatunog, ano? Verification and validation. Mukha silang magkatunog. Kasi sabi, okay, pa-verify nga nito. Okay, pa-validate nga. Pero ano ba yon? Alam natin na nasa dulo na nadila natin na magkaiba sila pero we cannot identify it easily. Anyone?
Validation.
Wala.
Validation.
Anyone? Lovely Herrera.
Hindi, nagtatawag.
Yung sa ano sir is ano?
Ano bang validation?
When we say verification, ano ba yung verification?
Parang ano sir, nagawa mo na tapos ano mo kung tama ba yung ginawa mo. Yung sa
Verification?
Ayun ang pag-veri.
sa validation naman po ay parang on the process pa lang. Pag
Okay.
pumasok sa system, nagagawa ka, tama ba yung gagawin mo or ganun po?
Adrian Camo, agree ka? Agree ka doon sa sinabi ni Lovely?
Apo. Apo, sir.
Ano ka sinabi ni Lovely?
Yung sa validation po. Yung parang tapos na daw po.
Okay. In your own words, Janry, ano ba pag sinabi natin verification at sinabing validation?
Para sa akin po sir, pag verification po is parang nililinaw mo po sir yung gagawin mo. Tapos sa validation naman po, parang babalikan mo, tatanungin mo kung nagawa mo ba yun.
Okay. So, yun, sa madaling sabi, yun na nga, lilinawin mo muna kasi, kumbaga, titingnan mo muna kung legit, ano, lilinawin mo, kumbaga, binigyan ko kayo ng instruction, you are about to verify kung tama ba yun. And validation is, titingnan nyo kung tama doon sa sinabi ko. Halimbawa, nagbigay ako ng instruction, binerify nyo. Sir, ito po ba yung gagawin? Ito po ba yung mismong instruction? Depende po sa pagkakaintindi. And you are about to validate kung tama yung ginawa ninyo or yung ginagawa ninyo. Depende dun sa instruction. So usually, verification is ginagawa ng developer and si validation naman is tester. We will not read about the differences na yan kung ano nakalagay diyan. Dito natin yung babasahin. So syempre, ibibigay ko din naman itong module and pwede nyo siyang basahin. Pero the point is, kailangan nga lang nating isa-isahin. I mean, kailangan ko lang sabihin kung ano ba talaga yung pinag-iba nila kasi nagkakaroon ng confusion between two words, the verification and validation. Again, Crystal Jane, ano daw ang verification at validation?
Kapag verification po sir, yung check muna po kung tama.
Tapos, ang validation,
Ay kapag verification po pala ay yung alinawin muna tapos validate po kapag check na.
tagasan ka, Crystal Jane?
Pinamalayan po.
Kaya pala. Sige, wala lang. Nahuli ko agad sa accent. Okay. Next. Sherwin, Evangelista, pag sinabing evaluation tuloy, verification and validation. Sherwin, Evangelista.
Chicken kung tama ang validation. Verification titingnan.
Sherwin. Next. Neil John Templanza.
Ano po? Ang verification po ay parang ano po, yung nililinaw po muna. Tapos yung validation po ay para pong ano, inaalam po kung tama naman po.
Kung tama na, depende dun sa binerify.
Apo.
Okay. That's good. So, I'm just checking lang, I'm just verifying or validating kung kayo ay nakikinig. Ano? Kasi pwede kasing yung iba ay naka-join lang tapos nakahiga na tapos tutulog na. So, syempre, para malaman ko kung nakikinig, I mean, nasa akin yung attention. Not exactly alam kung nasa akin yung attention nyo, ha? Alam ko yun. Pero syempre, somehow, in many cases na pwede ko pa rin naman ma-caught up yung attention nyo kahit pa paano. So, that's what I wanted. Ano? Next. The differences of testing, quality assurance, and quality control. Most of the people are confused with this concept and differences between quality assurance, quality control, and testing, although they are interrelated. And at some level, they can be considered as the same activities. But there is indeed a difference between them. Mentioned below are the differences between them. So pag sinabi natin quality assurance, so activities which are ensured the implementation of process, standard in context verification of developed software and intended requirements, while quality control is activities which ensure the verification of involved or developed software with respect to the documented or not in some cases requirements, while testing stage are activities which ensure the identification of bugs, error, defect in the software. So pag sinabi ulit natin quality assurance, it focuses on the process, while quality control focuses on the actual testing. And also testing also, yung mga tester is focusing on actual testing. So sino na ba nakarinig sa inyo pag sinabi natin QA at QC? Ano ba yung pinag-iba na QA sa QC? Sino nakakaalam? Sino nagtrabaho na sa mga company dito? Sino nakapagtrabaho na? Anong pinag-iba ng QA sa QC? Ano po? Sino nakapagtrabaho na? Pag sinabi natin QA sa mga company, ito yung nagbabalidate or nagbe-verify kung na-i-implement ba lahat ng rules and regulation, mga procedure, standard protocol sa company. So, same din dito. So, yung mga quality assurance, they are the person who will make sure that the rules and regulation, protocols, or whatever said in the context are being implemented. While quality control, it is sila yung nagbe-verify kung tama ba yung mga pinaggagawa based on those contexts. Nagigets po? Clear? Clear po, clear? Okay, ulitin ko. Halimbawa sa school, ang quality assurance. Sa quality assurance, ang nag-check niyan ay ang HR. Chine-check talaga nila yan. Kung yung bang faculty na to is performing well or not. So yan, kung sinusunod ba yung mga protocol, kung sinusunod ba yung mga protocol ng school, yung mga house rule, and then the quality control is ang nag-aano niyan yung mga dean. So sila yung nagbabalidate or nagbe-verify ng faculty niyan kung yan ba ay progressive or not based on the context of the manuscript. So yan, ganun siya nakadepende. So syempre sa testing stage, hindi doon napapasok si program care. So yun, para madaling sabi. Next, process-oriented activities ang quality assurance, while quality control is product-oriented activities. Also same din ni testing. Preventive activities kay quality assurance and corrective process kay quality control, and same as preventive process kay testing. It is subset to software test lifecycle or STLC. Pag sinabi natin quality assurance, while QC is considered the subset of quality assurance and the testing is subset of quality control. So ibig sabihin, si testing is under ng quality control and si quality control is under ng quality assurance. So sa IT company, malalaman nyo na agad pag sinabing QA ay mas mataas kay QC. Ano? Kasi siya lahat ang mag-check nun eh. Okay, differences between audit and inspection. So kung hindi pa kayo nakakapagtrabaho sa company, So pag sinabi nating audit versus inspection, ano? So ito kasi based on my experience lang ha. Pag in-audit kayo, ibig sabihin the general or the entire, halimbawa, the entire branch will be audited kahit sa kasuluk-sulukan. While inspection, ay di inspection lang yung area and they are about to document it. But in auditing, it will reflect doon sa mga documents na versus na in-audit. Tapos doon sa current na status nung branch. Okay. In other words, the systematic process to determine how the actual testing process is conducted within an organization or a team. Generally, it is an independent examination of process which are involved during the testing of software as per IEEE. It is a review of documented processes, whether organization implement and follows the processes or not. Types of audit included the legal compliance audit, internal audit, and system audit. So sa inspection naman is formal technique which involve the formal or informal technique review of any artifact by identifying error or gap. Inspection includes the formal as well as informational or informal technical reviews as per IEEE 94 inspection in a formal evaluation technique in which the software requirements, nasa na ang jacket? Software requirements, wala ang jacket ko, ang lamig eh. Software requirements, design or code are examined in detail by a person or group. So yun. Wait na, wait. Wala ang jacket ko. Okay. Sino makakapag-identify ng testing and debugging? Anong pinag-iba? Identify, testing and debugging. Giancarlo Alot.
Sir, good po.
Kamusta daw, sabi ni Triana Claire de los Reyes.
Sir, ayos lang naman po. Pasabi po. Salamat po. Sir, yung testing po ay...
Mahina yung sound mo, Carlo.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Para po sa akin, sir, yung testing po is yung parang nasa process pa lang po nung development po ng system. Doon po tine-check yung mga requirements na kailangan gamitin sa isang system po. Tapos kapag debugging, sir, is yung parang sa finalization po ng isang system po na ginagawa.
Okay, agree ka doon? Adrian Camo?
Opo, sir.
Okay. Parang lagi kang agree, ano? Generous Lagasca. Can you please specify what are the difference between testing and debugging?
Para po sa akin, sir, yung testing po, kagaya po ng sabi nyo kanina ay nasa process na po siya ng paggagawa. Kasama po yung documentation tsaka yung SRS po. Sa debugging naman po yung, sa huling-huli na po yung sinecheck po yung, yung mga mali po, yung error po sa coding po, sir.
Okay. Sangayon ka doon, ano? Mark Andre.
Yes po, sir.
Bakit?
Tama na ba? Pag po debugging po ay parang i-identify mo lahat po ng mga errors sa system, sa mga codes po. Tapos sa testing naman po yung pinakang functions po ay identify niyo po kung gumagana po ba o hindi.
Okay, let us see. So pag sinabi nating testing, testing involved the identification of bug, error, defect in the software without correcting it. So yun yun. So i-identify mo lang, wala pa. Tulad nung presentation nyo sa akin. Tandaan nyo, ano, nag-present, hindi pala kayo nag-present sa akin, ano, kasi video yun, ano, yung sinunod nyo sa akin. So yun, dapat ganun mangyayari. So testing yun. So I'm going to check your program, then i-identify ko yung mga problema without correcting it or hindi natin pa ikukut na ngayon. Normally, professionals with a quality assurance background are involved in the identification of bugs. So, dito nagkakaroon ng correction. Usually, nagkakaroon dito ng correction or mga preventive action on the functionalities dun sa system. While debugging, it involves identifying, isolating, and fixing problems or bugs. Developers who code the software conduct debugging upon encountering an error. So usually, nangyayari ito during the development period. Okay, in the error in the code, debugging is a part of white box or unit testing. Debugging can be performed in development phase while conducting unit testing or in phases while fixing the reported bugs. So yon, ang debugging is you are about to fix habang tinetest na rin natin. So yung gano'n naman yung nangyayari. Habang tinetest na rin natin, ang nangyayari ay pinipix natin. So this is common. Pero malaki yung pinag-iba nila. Pag sinabi natin testing A, walang gagawin. Tinetest lang talaga. And pwede nating i-list down what are the problems that we encountered. Testing yon. Kung ano man yung ano nakita natin, eh di testing yun ano. So, kaya nga tayo or pwede natin sabihin as trial. Okay. So, ano ba yung pinag-iba ng ano? Or ano ba yung mga testing myths? So, pag sinabi natin myths sa testing is too expensive. So, hindi kasi yung totoo. Kasi they are saying pay less for testing during software development or pay more for maintenance or correction later. Early testing saves both time and costs in many aspects. However, reducing the cost without testing may result in the improper design of a software application rendering the product useless. So yon, hindi daw talaga magastos ang testing. So mukha lang siyang magastos kasi you are about to pre-launch or sometimes you are about to pre-launch your product without being paid. So yon, talagang i-release niyo yung product nang wala na makikitain or wala pa. And in somehow nagkakaroon ng ng correction or during the testing stage is ililista tapos yun doon napapasok yung tinatawag natin na debugging. Next, testing testing is time consuming. Pwedeng oo, pwedeng hindi. Sa totoo lang. So nasa mid siya pero pwedeng oo, pwedeng hindi. During the SDLC phases, testing is never a time consuming process kasi naka-define na yun doon, diga? So naka-separate siya ng block. However, diagnosing and fixing the error which is identified during the proper testing is a time-consuming but productive activity. So, yun yung sinasabi natin na hindi totoo na time-consuming. Ang time-consuming ay yung diagnosing and fixing those error or debugging the error is yun yung time-consuming. Next, testing cannot be started if the product is not fully developed. Sangayon kayo? So, hindi. Kasi during your development period, tinetest nyo na yung product nyo bago kayo mag-move sa ibang functionalities. Tama? Okay. Tama ba? Tama ako doon? Andre? Okay. Nasa na nga tayo? No doubt, testing depends on the source code, but reviewing requirements and developing test cases is independent from the developed code. However, iterative or incremental approach as development lifecycle model may reduce the dependency of testing on the fully developed software. Next, complete testing is possible. Hindi daw siya talaga literal na pwede. Bakit kaya? It becomes an issue when a client or tester thinks that complete testing is possible. It is possible that all paths that have been tested by the team, but occurrence of complete testing is never possible. There might be some scenarios that are never be executed by the testing team or the test team or the client during the software development lifecycle and may be executed once the project has been deployed. Sang-ayon kayo doon? Hindi daw lahat ng sector ng inyong project ay na-check nyo? Yun daw yung reality. Hindi daw lahat ng part ay na-check. Sang-ayon? So, true yun. So, wala nang imig ayaw umimigay. Pero tunay yun, as in. Tunay siya talaga. Kasi kaya nga minsan, it's better to show or showcase your project or product to the non-technical person because they can easily identify it somehow. Kasi tayo, we are the technical person, we didn't think or we don't know na or sometimes din natin alam na naiisip na kulang pala, dapat pala yon, na required pala yon. So, syempre, kumbaga tayo nadadala na doon sa ibang part na feeling natin ay okay na. Ano? Next. If software is tested, then it must be bug-free. Sangayon kayo doon, pag na-testing daw yung product, yun daw ay wala nang problema.
Andiyan na.
Hindi po. Pag na-testing nyo na, wala nang daw problema yung product nyo. Sangayon? Hindi. Because there is very common myth which client, project managers, and management team believes in. No one can say with absolute certainty that a software application is 100% bug-free, even if the tester with superb testing skills has tested the application. This is the reason why those giant companies or tech giant like Google and Facebook or even Twitter are about to pay a big bounty to those security penetrator or tester na makakapag-identify ng problema ng kanilang system. Nagbabayad talaga sila. So yun. Ayun, nagets po? So baka meron dito mga security tester na, yung mga software tester, yung nababayaran ng Facebook. So yon, ako ay one of them, hindi nga lang ako nabayaran. Way back 2014 when I found out na kapag hindi ko maalala yung sa profile picture yun eh. Kapag clinic mo yung profile picture, you can easily expose those picture na naka-private or naka-hidden. 'Di ba mayroong private pictures, private album sa Facebook? Tama ba? So
Opo.
Yun, pag clinic mo yung profile picture tapos may binago ka sa address bar, mag-expose na lahat ng album, parang ikaw yung may-ari ng account. So yun yung nakita ko sa kanya dati. Yun lang yung nakita ko. Na-report ko kay Facebook, hindi ako binayaran na ayos. Likat na yung kakulugi lang. Hindi na ako naggagayon. So yun, pero masaya, Masaya. And kung inabot niyo yung Friendster, sino nakaabot ng Friendster dito? May nakaabot ba ng Friendster dito? So yun, sa Friendster.com, kung inabot nyo, sa Friendster.com naman ay yung sa pag nakalaki yung profile. Pag clinic mo yung profile picture, may babaguhin ka lang sa taas, lalagyan mo lang sa address bar sa dulo niya, lalagyan mo ng letter N _B, makikita mo na lahat sa kanya, kahit yung message nung may-ari ng account, lahat ng inbox. So nakita ko rin yun dati when I was in college. So yun nga lang, hindi din ako binayaran. So yun. Kaya ayoko na, yain na sila, tinatamad na ako. Tsaka yung sa Divine, ay wag nang maulit, baka madali pa. Okay. Additional. Missed defects are due to testers. Sangayon pa kayo doon na yung mga hindi nakitang defects ay kasalanan daw ng tester o nung mga nagtetest ng system. Sangayon kayo doon?
Hindi po.
Hindi. Because it's not correct approach to blame those tester for the bugs that remain in the application even after testing has been performed. So, pwede kasing minsan nasabi na or nakita na, pero hindi pa rin ginawa. May mga instances na gano'n. So, minsan naman, yung hindi naman nakita, syempre, hindi naman niya alam yung entire flow ng system. Kaya nga sabi nga diyon sa una pa lang dapat yung mga tester is mga highly skilled. Dapat alam nila. Usually, dapat yan mga engineer talaga para they know how exactly what or how the system perform well. So, yon. Hindi pwedeng sisihin ng mga tester kasi hindi naman sila yung gumawa. And even the developer, hindi pwedeng sisihin. Because both side parehas nagkaroon ng problema. Okay. Next, tester should be responsible for the quality of the product approach. Hindi rin yung totoo na ang tester ang responsible sa quality nung ginagawa ng software. Kasi ang tester ay taga-test lang, taga-bigay lang ng mga nakita nila, and it will depends again do sa project management or project manager kung ano yung dinesign nila sa SRS nila, and that should be, dapat ganun. Hindi kasalanan ng tester yon. Okay, next. Test automation should be wherever it is possible to be used, it is, ano ba yan? It and to reduce time. Ulitin ko, test automation should be used whenever it is possible and use it and to reduce time. Hindi daw tunay na yung mga testing automation ay dapat talagang gamitin or nakakabawas ng oras. Pwedeng oo, pwedeng hindi, pero most of the time ay hindi. Kaya siya, yes, it is true, but yun ay kung marunong ang gumamit ng testing automation tool. So I still remember way back in my college, doon sa baccalaureate course ko, meron kasi kaming separate program or course na Unified Functional Testing ang tawag, or UFL ka nga, hindi ko maalala, tagal na kasi. So meron kasi kami subject na ganun, and meron pa kami isa pang subject, and yun ay HP load testing. So sobrang hirap niya talaga, as in, talagang literal, napakaswerte niyo, wala na kayong subject na ganun. Pero kami, Diyos ko, ang hirap. Kung ipapahawak sa akin yung subject na yun, hindi ko hahawakan yun. Yain na. Kasi dapat yung yung magtuturo nun, ay talagang magaling sa script on how to stress test or test the software. So nagagawa kami doon ng script. Ay anong hirap naman magawa ng script doon sa HP load testing. I-stress test mo yung website, ano ba nagawa ka ng local, or even your computer, you can stress test. Pwede mong i-test kung hanggang saan lang yung kakayanan niya. So yun. Next, anyone can test software application, or you agree with this one? Anyone can test a software application. Are you agree?
Hindi po.
Bakit?
Yung ginagawa ko sa mga
Kasi
beta
po,
testing po.
kasi po isa pong requirement siguro po kapag kukuha ka ng
Okay.
test.
So,
Kailangan po ay computer literate.
sobrang lamig din So, as in super lamig, ay nasakit ang aking sikmura. Ako'y naka-jacket na. So, syempre, yan namang malamig ng aking pakaramdam. Ako'y nalalamig na. Okay. Well, anyway, ganito yon. So, pag nakaranas kayo magtrabaho, may encounter nyo yung pag kayo na-assign sa IT department, and then somehow mapapatawag kayo sa ibang department like HR, accounting, or procurement. Meron dyan sa mga department na yan na isa na talagang nakakagigil. Alam mo yung feeling nila, alam nila lahat even though they are not. And they, the people in that department are always blaming those IT persons. Bakit si alam ito? Can you relate? Nararamdaman nyo na ba yung mga ganong senaryo? Bakit si marunong nito ay eduk yun? Naka-encounter na kayo ng ganon? Kahit sa school, bakit si ganyan, criminology yun, ba't marunong sa ganyan? Ba't ikaw hindi, IT ka? So siguro hindi, kasi hindi, parang isang taon lang kayo nag-face to face, hindi pa umabot isang taon, So yon. Ang nangyayari kasi ganun, talagang nakakainis yung mga part na yun, So ako when I was in the company, meron kaming isa sa HR department na talagang feeling. Ako naman, wala naman ako sa IT department, nasa operation ako. So, syempre, nakakainis lang talaga sa part ng IT na nandun na parang siya yung biniblame. So, again, hindi daw lahat nga ng tao pwede. Kahit pa sabihin natin siya ay marunong, hindi lahat. Kung ikaw naman talaga ay hindi mo naman talaga yung porte, yun yung pinapoint ko doon. Kung hindi mo porte yan, ay hindi. Again, halimbawa, for example, sino ba nandun? Halimbawa, si Angelo Castillo. ang forte pala talaga niya ay software, hindi naman hardware. Tapos pipilitin mo magawa ng desktop. Hindi lahat ng IT na tao ay pwedeng magawa ng desktop because hindi nila forte yon. That's why not all people or anyone can test a software application. Did you get it? Gets po?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Next, a tester task is only to find bugs. Mali din po yun. Because finding bugs in the software is a task of the tester, but at the same time, they are domain expert in the particular software. Developers are also responsible, are only responsible for the specific component of the area that assigned to them. But tester understand the overall working of the software. So dapat alam ng tester kung paano nag-work yung mismong system. That's why sabi ko nga kanina, dapat highly qualified engineers or project managers dapat ang naandon. So if you are a QA or QC, you can be considered as the in a higher position because you know how exactly the system that developers are doing doon sa inyong mismong company. So yun lang yung ating mga testing myths and reality ng testing So pagdating dito sa ISO or testing standard ay hindi ko na ito i-discuss kasi hintayin ko na lang sigurong i-discuss yung mas appropriate sa inyo kasi yun din naman yung gagamitin ninyo which is ISO 25010. Pagdating nyo kay Ma'am Desa, ISO 25010 which is the standard in the software development which is not included here. So napakarami kasi nitong ISO na to. Paki-memorize na lang ako nito. Huwag kakalimutan pero hindi ko na siya i-discuss kasi pagdating ninyo ng inyong ng capstone, asa na ba 'yon? Wait ha. Kung nga nailagay 'yun. Ala, nabura ko yata. Teka lang ha. Nailagay 'yun. Ayun pala nasa unahan. So ito kasi yon. Dito rin naman nagpo-focus yung 2501 in terms of functionality, reliability, usability, efficiency, maintainability, and portability. But meron kasi siyang sinusunod or proper line up kung paano gamitin yung mga yan. Kaya hindi ko na siya i-discuss. Ito yun. ISO 25010 in terms of functionality, reliability, usability, efficiency, maintainability, and portability. Okay, let's now move forward kay automation testing. So manual testing muna, So testing type. Manual testing, it is type or this type includes the testing of the software manually. For example, without using any automated tool or any script, you can test or execute the program. So, syempre, ikaw na mismo yung magtetest doon, mano-mano, page by page, kung gusto mo, nasa sa iyo. And, syempre, during the testing, you are about to identify those unexpected behavior or bug. So, yon nakikita mo yon. So, syempre, bilang highly skilled professional tester or project manager or senior engineer, you can easily identify them. But if you are not skilled, you cannot identify them. Kahit pa yan ikay magluha na dyan, hindi mo makikitang mali pala yun. Pwede kang bula-bulahin ng developer dyan. Ayan, tama naman na ganyan ho talaga dapat. So yun, pwede kang bula-bulahin doon. So dapat ikaw ay highly skilled. Now, let's move to testing automation or automation testing. So when we say automation testing, this is test automation when the tester writes script and uses another software to test the software. So dito napapasok yung mga tinatawag nating HP load runner, ano pa yung ginamit namin isa dati, dalawa yan, nalimutan ko na isa, JP, nagsisimula sa JP, na sobrang hirap talaga niyang intindihin. As in, super duper. Talagang kasumpa-sumpa. Although, tinuturo sa amin ay, akala namin ay tama na, ay talagang nakakasumpa. So, automation testing is used to rerun the test scenario that were performed manually. So kung ano yung hindi nakita dun sa manual test, pwedeng makita ngayon dito sa automation testing. Apart from regression testing, automation testing is also used to test the application from load, performance, and stress point of view. It increased the test coverage, improve accuracy, and save time and money in comparison to manual testing. Ikaw ka naman mag-manual pag hindi naubos ang oras mo dun ano. Okay. What to automate? Ano daw yung mga i-automate? It is not possible to automate everything in the software. However, the area at which user can make transactions such as login form, registration form, sales, yung mga sa sales, pwede yon, etc. In any area where the large amount of user can access the software simultaneously should be automated. Kung wari yung mga add to cart, yon. Sa e-commerce, dapat yun ay i-automate. When to automate? Test automation should be uses by considering the following software: large and critical projects. Si e-commerce ba large and critical? Yes. Projects that require testing the same area frequently, requirements not changing frequently, accessing the application for load and performance with many virtual users, stable software with respect to manual testing, and availability of time. So how to automate daw? Automation is done by using supportive computer language such as Visual Basic scripting. So somehow ang ginamit namin dati ay Node.js or JavaScript. Ang ginamit namin dati and C#. So hindi siya ganun kadali. Nakakamatay. And Java pala also, Java. Ginamit namin dati. Nakakamatay. Alam niyo yung feeling na mas mahirap pa siya sa capstone. Mas madali pa magawa ng program kaysa mag-test. Sa totoo lang. Ako kasi kaya ako nasasabi kasi naranasan ko na. And I don't want to go back in that position again. Ayaw ko na. Okay, there are a lot of tools available which can be used to write automation script. Before mentioning the tools, let's identify the process which can be used to automate for testing. So ito 'yon. Identifying areas within a software for automation, selection of appropriate tool for test automation, writing test script, development of test result, execution of script, create result report, identify the potential bug or performance issue. So ito naman yung mga software na pwede daw gamitin para makapag-automate ng testing. We have, unang-una, HP Quick Test Professional. We have the Selenium. We have the IBM Rational Functional Tester. We have the Silk Test, Test Complete, Testing Anywhere, WinRunner, HP Load Runner, Visual Studio Test Professional, and the What or What IR. Okay, so hanggang doon lang muna tayo because the blockchain is not about to discuss. So mag-iiba tayo ng topic, So ito ay sa January na. Okay. Question.